Hey, this is Gaunt. I was sent a pencil Type-C from Che-Wei and Taylor, CW&T, to demonstrate to you how easy it is to modify the pencil insert if you happen to get one that is too long. Now, this is going to be quite rare that this will happen to you. I have probably about 100, maybe 150 of these 0.3 millimeter um, inserts from other projects, and I was able to find two that didn't fit. The threshold for not working seems to be it crossing over into more than 74 millimeters. So this one here is 74.101 millimeters long. The tube itself, the metal tube itself, is that long. This one, the one that I have inserted currently, the one that I switched to, is about 74. Let's see, I have it right here. 74.041, and what this causes, the issue that this causes, is that it can't fully decompress this tube here, and that tube not decompressing all the way makes it so that the collet isn't fully disengaged, which causes this phenomena. When you attempt to write with it, it goes back in without any clicking of the pencil. And it also makes it so that it's a little harder to, also seems to make it so it's a little harder to pencil it. See, it seems to advance better upside down than right side up. This is a common issue with the collet not being all the way closed. Gravity works to grab, sometimes will work to grab it for you, and that is unhelpful when you are using a writing utensil. So without further ado, let's get into how to modify this insert to make it so that it functions normally like a pencil should. And you'll notice that the 0.3, oh, I should also point out that the 0.3 millimeters have a black collet, while the 0.5 millimeters are all the way white, all the way around, which gives some nice contrast, I think, to the pencil, making a little strike of black in there. The tube is also slightly thinner, ever so slightly thinner. But yeah, this will be exceedingly rare that you'll have to do this, but let me go through some of the ways that you can shorten one of these. It's going to take a very little time, and you don't want to take off too much because then it might rattle. So let's show you how to make it smaller. Okay, now for the next part of this process, you're going to want to have your tube secured. I recommend just a little bit of a product plug there to hold your piece in place against the table, and then a finger. You're not going to need a lot of force to do the work that we're doing. And the first way that I'm going to show you is going to be quite easy and simple. It is a common file. I have a Tamiya file here. It's good for, this particular cut is good for soft metals and plastic. Doesn't clog up easy, and that's what you'll want. You want something that's fine enough to work with metal, but not so fine it'll clog up too much when you work with soft metals. What you're going to do is you're just going to hold it against the table, make sure that you are about at 90 degrees here, and you're just going to strike downwards on it. It's going to make a noise. It's not pleasant. And you're going to want to then flip it over and do a few more strikes. And as you can see, we have taken off, as you may or may not be able to see, it's quite small. We have taken off a bit of material there. And then to make sure that there's no burrs, I'm going to use this 60 grit sandpaper and just in both the directions that I need it. And I want to do a little your way around like this to make sure that you don't leave any burrs on there that could cause you issue after inserting it into the pencil. Now, that should be it. You could also, and I guess that was also the second version of that. Something this coarse, you could just use it by itself. You're not gonna want the weight for this though. You're gonna want to be able to feel it move around because you don't want it to shake around too much. And you can just take off a couple thousandths of an inch with 60 grit sandpaper pretty easy. Just like that. Look, it's coming right off. And there we go. Easy as that. We have that down quite a bit. Now let's insert this one in place of the one that we know doesn't work and see how it does. Well, how you disassemble this is to unscrew the knurled part. Comes right out. And I'm going to use the back of this to apply a little pressure. It will pop out partially. Has some nice branding there on the little end holder. I'm going to chuck all the lead out of that and put a stick of lead into this newly shortened one, and then in there, and then we're going to place it. Actually, if I were you, I'd probably maybe wash it, rinse, just kind of like wipe it down before putting it back in, because there may be some metal particles that you don't want gumming up the works in there. But I'm living dangerously today, and then you push that just back in, and there you go, back in business. Now we show that back in, and there we go, and we will see, and look, we've done it. This is a perfectly usable pencil now. And for another product placement, use the studio notebook here, and write some letters there. Beautiful. And that's how you alter it without power tools. You can also use, just to save you the noise, and since it's so straightforward and simple, you can also use a Dremel tool. Put either a cut-off wheel or a flat sanding disc up against that for a couple of seconds, and that'll take that right off, and you'll be off to the races. And I want to just again thank you, Che-Wei and Taylor, for sending this out to me, for trusting me with your product to show people how to shorten one of these.